You talking to me? We're together. Me and you. You're talking to me? You're talking to me? You're doubting me? After all we've been through?
Conor doesn't need to fight. He has everything. I respect the fact that he's coming back to fight so much because it shows that he's a fighter in his heart. You know, me, I got to a certain level and I decided to walk away. You know, Conor, he's back. It shows that he's still that fighter despite having so much success. I'm rooting for him. Proud of Conor. I'm a massive fan. I think I will be for the rest of my life. You know, he has had a lot of struggles, ups and downs, just like I have, but he always gets back on his feet, which is a huge.
Brace yourselves, because Conor McGregor's long-awaited return against Max Holloway is only days away, and the MMA world is absolutely tearing itself apart. Former champions, elite fighters, legendary coaches, and top analysts have all delivered their predictions.
The insurmountable challenge that Conor McGregor is about to take on, like as things get closer, hype starts to die down, the reality starts to set in, and we aren't there yet. Like the hype and the fireworks are still going to be going for another week or so. But as we get closer and that starts to die down, I would tell you, I find what Conor McGregor is attempting to do to be inspirational. And there are not very many, if any, famous elitist millionaires that I could be inspired by. But this task really is remarkable. You have the worst injury that I've ever seen in our sport. Now, I've seen 3 other athletes with the same injury, but I haven't seen a worse injury. You have an athlete who is returning to a weight class outside of his prime, which historically, including boxing, does not go well. And he's going into what I believe to be the hardest proposition in sport, which is...
Chael Sonnen believes fans are completely reading this fight the wrong way. Right now, every headline is overflowing with hype, predictions, and non-stop excitement. But once the lights come alive and the octagon door finally closes, absolutely none of it will matter. According to Chael Sonnen, this isn't merely another comeback. It's one of the toughest challenges any superstar has ever accepted. A fighter returning after years away, recovering from a horrific leg injury, stepping into a 5-round war against one of the most durable fighters the sport has ever seen. For Chael Sonnen, that's exactly what makes this...
I think it's a great matchup, coming back to fight Max at 170.
I love the story, yeah.
Yeah, I love the story, and I think, Max is coming to his own. Obviously they fought a long, long time ago. Since then, they both become champions. You have Max, who's been in the paint, just fighting tough guys after another. Where Conor, he's kind of, he's been a businessman. He's been a father for the last couple of years, going through some soul searching, whatever he's doing. For him to come back and fight a tough Max Holloway, I'm going to go with Max for this one. I just think Max...
Even Joe Rogan admits Conor McGregor's return is one of the biggest spectacles the UFC has witnessed in years, and the excitement is absolutely impossible to ignore. The arena will be electric. Millions will be watching, and the pressure couldn't be any greater. But once the emotion disappears, Joe Rogan believes reality begins asking far tougher questions. Can a fighter who hasn't competed in nearly 5 years still perform at the same level? Can timing replace activity? Can raw power overcome relentless momentum? Because while McGregor has spent years away,
blessed with the opportunity to be able to right a wrong. Actually, we're 0-0, you know, in his way, the way that he made the rules he made up in Connor's way, he said he don't count decisions as wins. So at the end of the day, brother, this shouldn't be a 2, it should be just a number 1. And you know, Saturday night I go out there and get 1-0 against the guy. Dan, and every time Conor McGregor's name is mixed in mixed martial arts in a good way, it's always great and huge for the sport. You know, he did a lot of, you got to give the man his flowers. He did a lot of great things for the sport. He did a lot of big things for the sport. So at the end of the day, he always got my respect in that sense. But the sad thing is that he has to see me come July 11th, and I'm the one, you know, welcoming him back to the octagon. So I'm excited. It is, you know, and then I also see people talking about, he picked this fight for a reason because of the last fight. What happening? You know, he kind of alluded to it, talking about, you know, are you okay? In the me and the Joe Rogan sit down, he's like, "You okay? How's the body?" And stuff. Like, he know what he's doing, you know. So at the end of the day, I'm getting ready. Like I said, I'm getting ready for a dangerous. If I took 5 years off and I wanted to come back, I would not be an idiot about it. With Conor McGregor being who Conor McGregor is, I think so. He don't want to lose face of anything. So I think so. He's doing the right things, and I'm getting ready for the best Conor McGregor that we've seen.
As more fighters started revealing their predictions, one argument refused to disappear no matter what. This was never about who carried the bigger name. It was about who had truly been living inside the octagon throughout the last 5 years. While Conor McGregor was rebuilding his body and life outside the cage, Max Holloway never stopped chasing the toughest competition available. Championship fights, brutal wars, and elite opponents became his everyday reality. That's exactly why many analysts believe this matchup is no longer simply talent versus talent. It's activity versus inactivity. And when two former champions finally collide, recent experience can become every bit as dangerous as devastating.
Wins. I do think there's a lot of questions about how McGregor, like his lifestyle outside of the cage, you know, and then being able to train, being able to juggle everything. And again, like going back to what Marvin Hagler said back in the day, man, it's hard to get up and run whenever you're sleeping in silk pajamas, you know? So like, how much is he really going out there and training? How much is he really just putting up for show? We won't know until the fight. And I like my chances with Holloway. Again, he's been way more active. He's been in the gym. And especially even in his last fight, he didn't take much damage. So for me, I'm thinking it's more of a Holloway win. And again, also,
while many fans are obsessed with Conor McGregor's comeback, Max Holloway is viewing this fight through a completely different lens. He respects everything McGregor has accomplished for the sport. But once the cage door slams shut, respect means absolutely nothing. This is his opportunity to settle the score once and for all in his own eyes. At the same time, he believes Conor's recent comments, and even his questions during the Joe Rogan interview, were no coincidence. Max sees them as subtle mind games designed to test both his confidence and physical condition.
Back to Conor this week. He's not knocking me out of my game plan. This is something that I like to do. If you, off the cameras, ask Mitch is around all the time. You can talk to him. I give it to all my friends, all my teams here. We give it to each other, and that's just what we do. We just love, you know, like locker room talk. You know, we like harassing each other, and I don't like doing it too much because, you know, it is what it is. I like people. I like fighting. I respect the game. But if somebody wants to dish it, you got to be able to take it back. So if he's going to dish it, and take it back. And then the one thing
beat you, then I'll be 1-0 against you, and then we'll rematch in December. Usually, you know, you're a guy who does not talk about anything beyond the fight on Saturday, but you threw it out there. They're like, oh, well, we'll do it again at the end of the year. Why do you think he said that?
Yeah, that was Mystic Max talking, you know. He was talking about some contract stuff. You guys saw it on top of another interview that he did about his contract talks about how he want to wait a year, but I told him, don't need to worry, bro. You know what I mean? I got you. I go out there. I would do something exciting. I got you. You get to get your get back, or try to get your get back on me in December. You know, that'd be perfect world. I think UFC to me, UFC is crazy. I think this fight should have been at Legion Stadium. You know, every time that we fought, or every time I was bringing him up, I was like, bro, we need to go to Legion Stadium. But I know Dana White hates stadium shows. That's why. So that's whatever. But, bro, I go out there. I get my hand raised in crazy fashion. You know, I poke the bear a little bit more, poke Dana White, Allegiant Stadium in December. That would be great. And that would be hell of a year. That would be hell of a year, you know, especially with the way the year started for me. So life would be good.
Well, actually, man.
For many fighters, the biggest mystery isn't Conor McGregor's skill, it's his mindset. Nobody questions what he accomplished during his prime. But can he still summon the discipline needed to defeat an active, battle-tested Max Holloway? While Conor stayed away, Holloway kept fighting, improving, and evolving. Until fight night finally answers those questions, many experts continue putting their faith in Max.
It's not just Conor, too, but look at the excitement at 155 pounds. Like, it's back again. In particular with Gaethje winning the belt. There's so many contenders now. Like, who's gonna be the lucky winner to get the next title shot? If Conor wins, we all know it's gonna go to Conor. But if Conor doesn't win, it could be Max Holloway, who beat Justin. It could be Charles Oliveira, or you give it to who everybody, the majority of the people actually want, in Arman Tsarukyan. And that would be the most deserving.
My guy, listen. At this point,
Justin can pick. Justin can pick.
Okay, if Max does get it done, what is the point of the rematch? That's not a big enough fight. It's not a big enough high for me to top what I just did at the White House. I'm done.
Oh, so really? So you're saying, hold on, come on. Let me pause you there. So if Conor does lose, there could be a reason that Justin Gaethje says goodbye to the sport of MMA.
I mean, I'm not speaking for him. He's his own man, but if the
talent might steal rounds, but hunger steals entire fights. Curtis Blades believes that's exactly where Max Holloway owns the real advantage. While Conor McGregor has already collected championship glory, wealth, and worldwide fame, Holloway is still chasing greatness every single day. If motivation becomes the deciding factor inside the octagon, Blades believes Max's relentless hunger could ultimately make all the difference. Max Holloway isn't walking into UFC 329 hoping to win the trash talk battle. He's focused on winning the only battle that truly matters. He makes it crystal clear that no amount of verbal games from Conor McGregor will distract him from his strategy. In Max's eyes, mind games only succeed if you allow them, and he's determined to stay disciplined. This fight isn't just about Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. It could completely reshape the entire lightweight division. A Conor McGregor victory instantly creates enormous championship opportunities. One win, and the sport's biggest superstar could suddenly throw himself right back into the title conversation almost overnight. Despite the growing confidence surrounding Max Holloway, not everyone is ready to write Conor McGregor off just yet. Brendan Schaub believes this fight is nearly impossible to predict because nobody truly knows which version of McGregor will step into the octagon. Is his speed still there? Can he still unleash that signature left hand after such a lengthy layoff? Those unanswered questions make Conor every bit as dangerous as ever. But Kamaru Usman believes raw power alone won't be enough. To defeat Holloway, one prediction hits differently because it comes from someone who knows Max Holloway better than almost anyone, Alexander Volkanovski. While he acknowledges Conor McGregor's lengthy layoff, he refuses to underestimate Conor's fight-ending power. According to Volk, the opening rounds are where the real danger begins. One perfectly timed left hand can flip everything in an instant. That's exactly why he believes Holloway's greatest weapon won't simply be his cardio or relentless pressure. It will be his patience. If Max survives those dangerous early moments,